Now I'm not trying to be rude, but hey pretty girl, I'm feeling you. The way you do the things you do reminds me of mine.
It's your boy, man. Man, it's your boy. Hey, man. Hey, man, it's your boy.
Alright, I just had to get that out of my system. What is up, guys? It is TheCitrusPanda here today, and today I'm coming at you with a review for episode 23 of Season 2 of Haikyuu. Let's do this. Alright, so in this episode, I thought maybe at the beginning that it was going to end, like the game was going to end this episode, but that wouldn't have made sense, I guess, because they only got like halfway done. They're about at the halfway point, and if anything, they might end next episode, or maybe at the beginning of episode 25. Not sure. I don't really care when they end it. We're towards the end, and I think that they'll end it off at a good point, regardless of where it ends, so I'm not worried about them ending it in a good way. I think it's going to have a good ending, possibly a cliffhanger, but I mean, there's going to be another season, so it doesn't matter. In this particular episode, though, we actually focused, in the past, I think the episode I've talked about, maybe it was episode 21 or something, I said it was kind of going off the fact that Mad Dog, we'll just use that name, I think his name's like Kiyotani or whatever, but Mad Dog is not only easier to say, but sounds cooler, so we're going to use it. And my boy Oikawa also calls him that, so, I mean, we gotta go with that, his name. So it kind of focused around him and actually developing him a little bit more as a character, and how, Tonica from Karasuno, he was kind of like, they're kind of doing like not a one-on-one, but they're kind of like challenging each other, the Mad Dog and Tonica, and they're kind of going back and forth, and Tonica, honestly, is kind of just getting overzealous, and he's like not really, his head isn't in the game, if that makes sense. And he keeps making mistakes, and he keeps messing up, and in general he's just not playing well at all, so they switch him out. And also he has some flashbacks, you know, because you gotta have them flashbacks to Vietnam and whatnot, but he basically, we see him in middle school. Yeah, he's in middle school, and he's kind of like not playing with the team that much. And then we see him, I'm assuming he's playing with college level students at one point, because they keep referring to him as the high school student. So I can only assume that he was practicing with the college people, because he just didn't want to practice with Saijo, which is weird, because like that, you know, even like the one like college student was like, yeah, I wanted to get into Aibo Josai, and I wanted to get into Saijo, because that was like I couldn't because I wasn't good enough, whatever. But I guess he originally wanted to go to that school, but it's a very powerful, not powerful, but it's very strong school as far as volleyball goes, I guess. I'm not really sure how those things work. I guess they kind of scout you out and be like, hey, you're pretty good, come on over to the school, you can come here. Anywho, we got this guy, and he's kind of like not really a mentor, but kind of giving him advice, life advice, and he kind of remembers that advice. But also, there is a guy who, I don't know his name exactly, I could actually look at it right here. Yohaba, it's Yahaba, or Yahaba, maybe, I don't know. He's like this, he's a really generic character. I'm gonna take this off really quick. Alright, so it's a really generic, he's a pretty generic character, just like brown hair. Not important to the story as far as I know. I don't think we really, I mean, we've seen him before this, but he wasn't really important, and he kind of like slapped some sense, not in the metaphorical sense, he literally slapped some sense in this kid, well, slammed some sense into him, maybe was the better word. He literally like, took him and slammed against the wall, and was like, man, you gotta calm down, and you know, he calmed down, but after the wall slamming happened and whatnot, they put him back in the game, and he's back in the game now. So he's performing at a good standard. And what was weird is at the beginning of this episode, they were kind of talking about the three main pillars of Saijo, which was Mad Dog, their ace, and Oikawa. And for some reason, I am drawing a blank on their ace, but he's the dude with the spiky black hair that is friends with Oikawa, and he's a third year. Could not tell you. I don't think it's Kindachi. I don't think it's him. It's the other dude. His last name starts with with an I, so we'll go with that guy. But those are the three main people that they have to get rid of, or at least kind of negate or match or something. And they kind of got rid of Mad Dog at the beginning, but then he came back. I don't think they can do anything about Oikawa. I mean, essentially, I think what has to happen is that every single time Oikawa serves, all they need to do, they don't really need to stop him, but they need to have, most likely, Daichi. He needs to actually receive every single one of his serves, and hopefully somebody can score so they can get him off of the serving position as quick as possible. That's the only way you're going to get rid of him. And That's basically how they're gonna do it. But I think that Karasuno has this game in the bag. One, because they're the protagonists, so it makes sense if they won. But also because I think at the end of the day, they're really close. Obajosai, Saijo, whatever you want to call them. They're both really good teams, but I think at the end of the day, Karasuno is possibly better. They might have more reliable players, like doing more reliable things. Also, at the end of this episode, we saw Hinata make a pretty cool hit. He was really close to the net, and right before that happened, actually, Oikawa did a serve to Kindachi, and it was he had a short flashback of something that happened, and it showed that how good Oikawa is at serving, because Kindachi hit the ball and was like, "Hey man, can you switch it up?" And then he said, "No, we're just gonna do the same thing, and I would just do this." And he realized, Oikawa realized, it was like one ball length away, what his point of impact is. So he literally in one serve was able to adapt to Kendachi, and now in the actual game he's able to just apply that. Like, he remembers each of his individual teammates and what their preferences are, and he'll serve exactly, while he'll set the ball to them exactly how they want it and exactly how they will do it well. And then it kind of mirrored back to Kageyama, who Hinata jumped up in the air and he got really close to the net, so kind of messed up, but Kageyama was able to see he was really close to the net and he was about to mess up, so he threw it just above the net so that Hinata could just hit it down. That's the last scene in the episode, so that's basically how it ended. Overall, though, I think this episode was pretty good. I don't exactly know what else is going to happen. I think that they're going to bring Yamaguchi back in for a short amount of time or a long amount of time. I don't know. I want to see him come back in, maybe I don't think you can develop him much more as a character this season because there's only 2 episodes left, but maybe give him some more. I think he's a really interesting character, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of him coming in. Daichi, I want to see Daichi really step up in these next few episodes, or next couple, because, I think he's playing really, really well, but I want to see him, get really into it. I think that he could go slightly above what he's doing right now. I think he's capable of doing that, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining things. At the end of the day, good episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the review, and until next time, adios.
Now I'm not trying to be rude, but hey, pretty girl, I'm feeling you.